just recite your lessons on.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. This, like Rabbi shrah li sadri, this dua is kind of, I always, when I'm sure what I'm going to say, or I'm not sure, I recite because Allah make me easier for me to express what I want to do it. So, and today is mostly important for me, though it's important every day, because I just knew I have to, like sisters, Amina started yesterday, the thoughts and the feeling and connection with Allah, and such a powerful lesson. I knew I have to talk because we have that theme, our thoughts and feeling in this week, but I don't know what to talk about. And so I just truly asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me the words so I can, whatever I have in my mind to talk to you guys, I can express well. But forgive me if I can't. If you don't understand me, just ask me to repeat it, or maybe some other sister will come and jump up and explain more better. So inshallah, we're doing that, you know, like we're discovering where our feelings are coming from, which is like, you know, how, like I really love the analogy Sister Dr. Amina gave yesterday. It is like a coin. Our thoughts and our feelings, they are inseparable. If we have a sad thought, we will have a sad feeling. If we have a happy thought, we will have a happy feeling. So whatever thought and feeling we are going through is, sorry, I'm so sorry. I just need to pause for 1 second because my daughter needs me. I'm so sorry. Sorry, she's away all day, but when I told her I'm busy, she needs me. Sorry about that. So, and when we explore more into that and how it comes in our way, our thinking, how our thinking comes away with connecting to Allah, and when we are having the connection, when we are aware of Allah, when we are aware of His presence, then we won't have those disturbing thoughts which will take us to be worried or to be anxious. And I would like to touch a little bit about our relationship with the people. How thoughts come in our way and how it does affect us. Usually what happens is when we have to, in our relationships, any relationship, husband, wife, children, our friends, anyone, what comes in the way? Anyone want to put in the chat whatever it is coming into, like, which do one thing, or pride, ego, judgment? Yeah, that's the one I was going actually. Yeah, all, like there's no right and wrong answer. But what happens is there's two things. Yes, expectations. Thank you, Dr. Amina. Two things I want to talk about is which are the killer of relationships: our expectations and judgment. And I wish I could have breakdown more, but when we have, okay, just put in the chat what you expect from your husband. Just like, for example, nowadays, what you're expecting from him. Just if everybody can put it, whoever wants to, or who is married here with a husband. His time, Amina said his time, that Amina, to be nice, respect, to know what I'm thinking sometimes. Wow, Rosina, you are really having too much expectation. I expect the word from my husband. Wow. Sport, to be nice, understand me. Yeah. It's a really, really interesting one, because it's all like, we can see these are the wives' expectations, you know, at least if you don't see the name of the, these are all sisters, but can you see these are all like, we're coming from that, you know, sense. This can be, you know, a comfort, to be understood, make allowance for me, not get me on my nerves. I like this. To listen, to be supportive, to help me and know what I need. Yeah. And you know, expectations for each one, when we have a thought, yeah, we have the expectation in a form of a thought. And when it is in a form of a thought in our mind, then everyone will have its own different meanings. Like, to make it simple, yesterday Dr. Amina touched into coronavirus. What it is coronavirus for you all? And everyone's answer was different. Maybe few people have the similar one, but in a different wording. In the same way, when we have the expectations, and then it's just through our thinking, it's just, it has different meaning to it. Maybe, for example, Farina, your one is understand me, and you have something particular in your mind, how that understanding me will show up for you. Yeah. And it is different for your husband to understand, to be making you understood, like what is he thinks understanding you is in a different meaning. Am I making a sense? Please just put in the chat, because if not, then I will explain it more. Is it making sense what I'm saying? Okay, Zakla, I got you. Yeah, like when we, through thinking, we have the expectation, and expectation will always coming like our thinking, what we are thinking, what we expect from the other relationship. And it can be with our children or with our friend as well. For example, if I'm expecting my friend's phone call, because she is my best friend and she needs to call me, but she is unaware of my expectation, then that expectation is giving me kind of a disappointment. Or maybe she is not aware of it's her duty to call me every day. Can you see them? Because in the same way, for today my topic is no husband, because it's quite that one is deep one, but I'm just like, when it comes to relationship, is the one we have a lot of question about. But can we see that if we have expectation from our spouses, and the way we will make it, the way we are, we have the thought about that, that can be very different to how the other person understand it. You know, for example, someone will say helping, yeah, and maybe for him, he doesn't know how, which kind of a support or help you need. He thinks he is already supporting you by going and earning money, or dropping the kids somewhere. But like, if it come to me, like I'm telling you, my personal, it will be ideal if he can cook for me, you know, because I always like, feel cooking a bit chore. So in my mind, I made up something, and then I'm drilling into that when I don't get it. And what if we just drop the expectation? If we have, for example, if we don't have an expectation of anything and someone knocks at the door and brings us a present or a chocolate, how excited we'll be. But if we have already in our mind, like the present is coming and it might be that and that and that, and probably it is not what we thought in our head, and it won't be to our expectations. So in relationship, expectations is the killer. We really, if we want to nourish our and nurture our relationship, we need to drop the expectation. But now you will say, how can, but like, for example, as a life partner, or especially for husband and for children, we have a more of like, for children, we expect they have to learn certain things and they have to do certain things. And the same way, the people who we are living very close, we have these things. How can we, that is not possible. But if we bring that expectations to agreement, yes, I was looking for that, yeah, that will be very different. Because agreement is when we can sit down and talk about that's we need and that's you need, and it will be, like without any charge, without any anger or anything else, in a really calm way, working like a team. If we have those, then that will set our boundaries. And expectations, just empty expectations, doesn't give us anything apart from disappointment. And what those disappointment will do is it will give us frustration in our head. That's all. And we will all express this in a different way. Some will be, very angry, and someone will be expressing in a different way, to be shouting at the kids if the spouse expectation is doesn't have fulfill. So everyone will have a different way to express it, and we are bringing unpeace to ourselves and unnecessary trouble to ourselves, which really we don't have to. Because if the other person doesn't know what expectation we have and we haven't made it clear, it is through our thinking, and everyone has a different definition of thinking. When it comes to love, everyone has a different meaning to love as well, isn't it? What is love for you? Can you type it, please, for me, when it comes to love? What one thing for you comes up, like what will your loved one will do to show you he or she loves you? Can you type in, please? Trust, friendship, be with me, give me company, unconditional, show affection, give me time, knowing when to be there, not say anything, protection, acceptance, support, be my friend. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, can you see it? Everyone has a different meanings. Yeah. So they're in a line, but we can't kind of break into. So you can't make the meaning to someone else because it's just in our head and we made it up. Kind of a rose bar. If we get that, then we are okay. Yeah. So for the relationship, we need to really remove the bar of our expectations. And second one is judgment. Dr. Amna, what do you think? Shall I go for judgment or shall we leave for another day?
No, I think you can carry on with judgment. I don't know if everybody else is happy to continue. Everybody happy? I think everybody's benefiting from it, so inshallah, yeah, I'm happy to continue.
Yeah, because the two
go hand in hand, don't they?
Relationship is, like one is expectations and then the other one is judgment.
Yeah, go for it, Shakira. I think everybody's in agreement for you to carry on.
Okay, inshallah. What is judgment anyway? Can you please type in? If you all can type in. Rating someone. Yes. Anyone else? To make a conclusion. Yes. An opinion. Yeah. Absolutely. All these are the answers. Yeah. When we have a thought or opinion about someone and we think we know it. Yeah, we know it. He's lazy. But I know I'm living with that person. And you know what? We are living with ourselves. And most of the time we even don't know about ourselves. How can we know someone else? Yeah. And only if we can leave the judgment aside. Leave it, because it is through our thinking. And we see a huge shift in relationships. There's a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you if you see in someone fault or something, I don't know, I should have the exactly wording, but you give, like, before making opinion on him, give 70 times husn zan, good opinion. 70 times. 70 times is a big number. And what if we can only give 2 and 3 times? Our relationships will change. Because we think we know, but our judgment is just on our opinion. Your thought. We don't know. Anything you would you like to add, Dr. Amina? I would really be happy for you to add, inshallah, and then we can go into breakup rooms.
No, I think that's given us lots of things to talk about. It's not easy that those thoughts creep in. Most of the time they've become conditioned and habitual through our life experiences. So it can be really tricky to drop the expectation and drop the judgment. But the key for our shift was when we recognize it's just a thought. Ah, I'm judging him. That judgment is not set in stone. That judgment is not, written in an inscription somewhere. That judgment came from my thinking in the moment. Right? So if I took every cloud as that's how a cloud should be, then I'd be in a really tricky situation. But every cloud is different. Every cloud is moving. No two clouds are the same. They come and they go. So if we have this understanding of where it's coming from, that judgment, expectation, opinion is all our thoughts in the moment, then it gives us a bit more freedom to say, oh, okay, do I want to take this for truth or do I not? Is this truth or is this not truth? And especially if it's maybe a negative opinion of someone, don't forget that the shaitan is always there, adding to that opinion. Oh yeah, you know what? He did that last week. I think you're right. Or, oh yeah, you know what? Your son is definitely on the road to, failure and doom. And then you believe that judgment, or you buy into that expectation more. But I think it's a good place to stop and maybe just go into smaller groups and have a discussion of what everybody's heard and where that's landing with everyone. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. So I hope you've all had a chance to have an opportunity to share what that reflection, sort of where that landed with you, what you heard from that amazing reflection, and so important. I mean, we have spent weeks and weeks and months to, I would say, for myself personally as a marriage coach, years on this topic. And still sometimes I see it and sometimes I don't. So it's a big ask from all of you to sort of just get it in 20 or 40 minutes or an hour. So, it's going to be tough. But inshallah, you'll take away little bits that you need because Allah knows what we need. So Shakira, how was your group?
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, we have, alhamdulillah, we have plenty of time, and we went into discussions and the different questions. What is expectations and judgment, where we have to judge we have to have the judgment to understand for our safety, and different aspects came. I really want to make clear two things which I haven't mentioned it, and my intention was I will do in the last bit. That is, when we drop our expectations, it's like we, like Sister Faria said, we stop begging from the beggars. We need to go to the source. Yeah, and so we have to drop our expectations to only expecting from Allah, which is the source, and then you will see the amazing results. But then having the kind of a commitment, and the second thing is judgment, and that is when we have to. We need to have healthy boundaries around everything. But when we are in a habit of a judgment, that will take us to backbiting. And we don't know what is going on with other person's life, because everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own story. So Allah is the only one who knows what is going on, what other person is thinking, or what is going on their hearts. We don't know. we really need to give the husn zan. Jazakallah khairan, inshallah.
Amina, you're muted, my lovely.
Sorry, Jazakallah khair for that, Shakira. Yeah, absolutely. Going back to the source, love, compassion, mercy, all these things come from Allah. So if somebody's not being merciful, if somebody's not being compassionate, if somebody's not being loving, if somebody's not being kind or supportive, they're not being sourced from the source. Subhanallah. So it's in that moment that are we actually asking Allah for that? And actually, are we being like that? Are we being an example of mercy, of kindness, of unconditional love? Like, I agree with everybody's list at the beginning that they want support, they want unconditional love, they want, to have a companion and friendship. How are we being as the friends? Subhanallah. Because actually, we can't change a condition of the people. We can't change the outer condition. The only thing that we are in control over is ourselves. That's actually the only thing that I can do. And that may be to start off by asking Allah, Ya Allah, help that person, help my children be kind and compassionate, help my spouse be merciful and loving, help my parents with whatever. Subhanallah. So yeah, Farah, how was your group?
Alhamdulillah, yeah, sorry, it was a bit of an interruption group because my son, who's on a Zoom call of his own, came in and was trying to do it. So it was a little bit of a short one, but we talked about expectations, and we talked about how actually two of the questions were, how do you become less judgmental? Does it take a long time? Is it really, is it really difficult? And I said to the ladies in the group that once you realize it, once you realize that you are, when you're aware of it, alhamdulillah, we're really lucky that we have this space, because we could have carried on, with our merry little lives, never knowing any of this, never even stopping to think. So there's always a lot of deep questioning, isn't there? Why do we do anything? And until you go on this journey, you can go your whole life never questioning any of the things that you just do. You just carry on with life and never wonder how you come to the conclusions that you come to, not even realizing you're being judgmental at all. So I said that, we're quite lucky. It doesn't take years and years and years, and that we're very lucky that from the moment that you understand that there is the need to ask the question why, and that you are consciously aware of it, that's the first step. And the second step is, I did a very quick example of how one way that surefiredly that you're not being judgy or you don't have expectations is, let's just say, you have, for the mums in the group, you have a friend of your child's over for a play date. And, you become that mum that when you've got other people's children in your house, suddenly you become a certain type of mum. I don't know if it happens for everyone, but I know it definitely happened to me. You want to be the mum that other kids like, then suddenly whatever it is that your children do, it doesn't matter. This child comes in, drops something. Oh, that's all right, my lovely. I'll clean it up for you. Or they want a snack. Yeah, you go for it, love. And you treat that other child because you don't have any judgment or expectation on that child. It's not about you. I don't know if you want to show the best of you, but I said, if you could listen to your child and see your child, just one conversation, just one instance, you might be cooking, or they might be trying to talk to you. If you act in one moment like they are an alien that's dropped down from the sky and it's the first time that you're meeting them, you would get so engrossed in being curious about them about what they're saying, about what they're doing, it will have no influence on you. You've taken you wholly out of the equation now, and you are just focused on them. That is non-judgment and non-expectation, because nothing about you rides on it. You are fully curious and wondering, wow, what have you got to say? What is it like for you? And you take yourself out of the equation. And I guess that was just one way in which, you could try, that you could actually get non-judgy and non-expectational in that one moment. And ask the ladies in my group if they thought they could do that. If you didn't have children, then, with your partner or with anyone, with a friend even, act as if you've never met them before, that they are some very bizarre, strange concoction and you're seeing them for the first time. What do you want to know about them? What do you want to know about what it's like for them? And that takes you out of the equation. So that's what we did.
Yeah. I already often think of my husband like an alien. So I'm already there. But I guess, subhanAllah, where I fall short of thinking he's an alien, I'm only joking, sisters. Please, I don't want to go away thinking, gosh, that Dr. Amina from Sisters Seeking Salam, terrible, terrible. But I guess I've lost the curiosity. Like, I wonder why he's doing what he's doing, or he's not talking to me, or why he's not helping me, or why he's not here, or why he doesn't want to spend time. I've lost that curiosity, and now I'm just like, oh, this is an alien that doesn't like me, doesn't want to spend time with me, hates me, probably, subhanallah. So yeah, thank you, Farah. And can we drop judgment, and can we drop expectation, and how do we do that? Well, I want to say, I don't say a lot of definitive things, but I want to say absolutely no. Can we drop judgment? No. Can we take out all the clouds in the sky? No. Will we have good days, like a sunny day, when we have less judgment? Yes. But will there be moments where our clouds are completely grey and all we are stuck with is our judgment and expectations? Absolutely. But in that moment, if we can recognise, my God, today's a grey day for me. And what happens with any weather? It passes. It passes. And this is what Allah means when he said, be patient, because it will pass. Whatever you're feeling right now is temporary. Whatever you're thinking right now is temporary. The hardship you're going through, the hurt you're going through is temporary, and it will pass. And blue skies will come. And from having this understanding, does it mean that I'm of a person that doesn't have any judgment over my husband now? Absolutely not. But it's almost like I moved from living in a country like England, where it rains all the time, to now living in the Maldives. Like, the sky is a lot nicer more of the time. And when it does become grey, I know that another sunny day will come. And I ask Allah to grant us patience for that to come again. And if you're really stuck in that, then the dua that comes to my mind often, again and again and again, Ya muqallibul qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Like, you might know that you're being really judgy, that you're having a lot of expectation, you're so frustrated and angry and upset, but you just can't get out of it. You can't get out of that mood. Well, actually, we're not even the controller of that. We're not the controller of our hearts. So turn back to Allah, who is the controller of everything. He has the power over everything. You, me, our children, our spouses, our neighbors, our colleagues, our thoughts, our feelings, everything. Take it back to him. Subhanallah. Rashida, how was your group, Rashida?
Alhamdulillah, our group was good. Um, do you know what? Putting me up after everyone else has spoken, I kind of don't have much to say. We covered the expectations and the judgment, and the same as what Shakira said at the beginning. The minute you lower your expectation, things become easier. The minute you decide not to judge someone, you're not gonna have a comparison kind of thing. And one of the sisters, forgive me if I'm not saying it wrong, but she was referring to a hadith, and she said that if you don't, sorry, I'm trying to think of how she said it. If you pardon someone, so you don't say something when someone's offended you or they've hurt you, there is a blessing in that. So there is a reward in it. And that in itself, I just thought, how amazing that even if someone hurts us and we do not act, we are blessed. We are going to get a blessing out of it. We like I said, we looked at judgment. We looked at how we have high expectations of our children and we judge them. So like when you're taking them shopping or you've got visitors around, your expectations of them, obviously, like Farah said, they jump up high. My child has to be like good, not do this, not do that. But otherwise everyone else has already covered everything. Thank you. You're muted.
Amazing, subhanallah. Yeah, that's brilliant. Jazakallah khair for that. I would like to mention, if you've got time, just to stick around for a little bit, because I know we're going slightly over our hour, but one of the reflections in our group was really powerful. And it was, but what if my judgment over someone is right? What if my judgment over someone is right? So, for example, with our children, maybe, but he's not praying and he should pray. So my judgment over them and the expectation I have with them is that they should pray. They need to pray. This is important. This is fundamental. What do we do with that sort of expectation or judgment? And subhanallah, this is where I feel that balance comes in, right? That, yes, we need to pray. Our children need to be taught that they need to pray. Our spouses need to pray, or our friends should pray. But when we start becoming frustrated, angry, acting out in a really harsh manner, what's happened to us there, sisters? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam led the ummah, and yet we have no accounts of him being harsh, of him hitting children, of him being horrible to his wives. He dealt with everyone justly, right? Even his uncle, who rejected the deen again and again and again. How was his manner towards his uncle? He could have easily done so many things. He was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's not that, we have to say, okay, well, you're not praying and that's fine. I'll drop that. How can we be the most beautiful guide and facilitator for them? We know that if a child is struggling in school, that child might get one-to-one help. That child might get work that's tailor-made for him, get allowances, right? We understand that. If you're in a workplace and you've got certain needs, there will be adaptations for you. And yet, why are we not willing to adapt the way we are as a parent, we are as a friend, we are as a sibling, we are as a child, we are as a spouse. Why are we not able to give those adaptations? Where are our manners and our morals? So that was really the crux of our conversation. So I hope that has given you food for thought, inshallah, sisters. Shakira, Jazakallah khair. That was an amazing, amazing topic. And like I said, it raises so many things. If any of you want to reach out, then we do have an email address, sistersseekingsalam@gmail.com. We are on Facebook and WhatsApp as well. Shakira, did you want to say anything to end today's session?
I just want to say Jazakallah khairan for everyone joining and listening. And my intention was not to choose that, like when it comes to spouses and expectations, but I just didn't really want to touch into the relationships. But each topic has a lot of depth, we're realizing it. So if I make any mistakes, it's on behalf of me, and inshallah, Jazakallah khairan.
Oh, barakallah feek. Yeah, any mistakes within this are from our own shortcomings. Any goodness, we pray that Allah accepts it from us. I want to end with the dua. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Jazakallah khairan, Dr. Jamna.